Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 2-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. Hope you enjoyed the All-Star break. We are back on the grind tonight. Only a 2-gamer, but definitely some big prizes to be won, especially over here on DraftKings. We have a $250,000 first place $10 contest, so I'm sure many of you that are playing will be in that one tonight. Chance to win some big bucks, so we're going to break this game down, see some edges that we can get, try to win that big money tonight. If you do enjoy the content, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, I would greatly appreciate that. The channel continues to grow on the way to 500 subs, so thank you to everyone that has supported so far, and looking forward to continuing to provide you with some valuable content. If you are interested in some further content from me, if you're getting really serious about NBA DFS, I do offer an NBA DFS package over here on Patreon where you can get access to my premium NBA projections, NBA data sheet, player stats, team stats, play context stats, core plays, injury impact insights, and NBA Discord chat access. All of those tools over there for $9.99 currently. With the goal in mind being to provide you with value in all these tools that these other sites provide you at a much more affordable price. You're not paying $30, $40 a month for these tools. Much more affordable, and these are the same tools that I use when I build my own lineups. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start breaking down this 2-gamer. First game on the slate, Washington taking on Memphis. This game comes in with by far the top total on the slate. We're only talking about 2 games, but a 237.5 over under 3-point spread in favor of the Memphis Grizzlies. This game is expected to fly, so on a 2-game slate with not a lot of games to choose from, we're going to have a lot of interest in this one. Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, both going to be top priorities for me on this slate. Both playing mid-30s to upper 30s minutes, all the way up to 40. And both have a ton of usage as well as a ton of DK point per minute upside. Russell Westbrook right now producing at a 1.43 DK point per minute rate, while Bradley Beal is at a 1.39. So obviously there's a reason that we're going to have a lot of interest in these guys. Lots of production. Priced up for a reason, and in the fastest paced game on the slate. And then on the other side, you're looking at John Morant and Jonas Valanciunas at 7-8 and 7-1. Both these guys are going to make a lot of sense as well. Playing mid-30s to upper 30 minutes. Same rule applies to these guys. Much more affordable prices, but also producing at very high rates. John Morant right now is producing at a 1.19 DK points per minute clip, while Jonas Valanciunas produces at a 1.30. So, obvious reason as to why I'm going to have interest in a lot of interest in these guys tonight. And then as far as anyone else in this game, they do also get a big bump up in usage. All these guys that are in a rotation, there's going to be a lot of possessions in this game. The game's going to move fast. So Kyle Anderson, Dylan Brooks, Rui Hachimura, Brandon Clark, all these guys in the mid 5K to 6K range. You may have a lot more interest in them than you typically would. Still playing mid 20 minutes or so. Kyle Anderson, Dylan Brooks, same rule applies to him at 5'4". Can shoot the 3-ball very well, has gone out there and put up 31 and 50 DK points the last 2 times out. This is a guy that I've had a hawk eye on all year. He's been really struggling. He's a guy that traditionally I love to play, especially on DraftKings, just because of his ability to shoot the 3-ball, and he's typically priced at a very fair price. At only 5'4", the guy's going to go play mid 30 minutes. He shoots a ton of times, and when he gets hot, that's going to easily pay off that. The guy went up there and put up a 50-plus spot. At only a 5'4" price tag. You're looking to get that out of guys like a Russell Westbrook that you're paying 10-1 for sometimes. So, gotta love him. Rui Hachimura at 5'3" continues to play a ton of minutes. His point production, as far as on a per minute basis, has been pretty bad. Has kind of turned into just a wing defender, very good defender, but as far as fantasy points are concerned, 16, 12, 13, and 15 DraftKings points. Now, that may lower his ownership to the point where we really have an interest in playing him in tournaments, because the guy's still going to be out there on the floor for a ton of minutes. So I'm not telling you not to play him. Just know what you're getting yourself into. Might be looking at his game log at the end of the night being very frustrated, so just know that. And then lastly, you're looking at Justice Winslow, Bane. There is no Grayson Allen. Desmond Bane got to start a few times, but can just play around 20 minutes. Sure, you can play these guys. Davis Bertans, DeAnthony Melton also have a big role off the bench. But these guys more of tournament darts, so we're not as solidified in the minutes category as some of these other guys we've been talking about. Moving further along, second game on the slate, San Antonio taking on Dallas. This game right now comes in with a 222.5 over under with a 4.5 point spread in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, both expected to be back in this one. Good to go. Luka Doncic, top fantasy point producer on the slate by far. 1.61 DK points per minute, expected to play in the mid-30s. Not quite as fast of an up-tempo game here, though. And we do have Kristaps Porzingis back, which is going to affect his usage a little bit more than we'd like. When Kristaps is out, we know it's the whole entire Luka Doncic show. When he's in, he can take away from Luka's usage a little bit, so just keep that in mind. And it's not nearly as fast a game as this other one. Now, keep in mind, also, though, we're playing a 2-game slate. So, sometimes, with that being said, raw points do matter. Whoever scores the most points in a tournament is going to win a big prize. Doesn't take a genius to say that. So, oftentimes, we may have to sacrifice, this not being the best fast-tempo game for the fact that he's the best fantasy point per minute producer. And he is taking on a defense that isn't the greatest in San Antonio, who's the 19th ranked defense, the 24th ranked defense against his particular position. So, these are just all things you got to weigh in. When, I'm not saying not to play Luka Doncic. I do think that he's a tremendous play based on the raw points issue that I just brought up. And with that being kept in mind, 8-6 for Kristaps Porzingis with the minutes he's been playing in the low 30s. He might be a guy that I'm fading because you need the raw points. You might be able to play like a Brandon Clark for a cheaper price tag that we talked about earlier, who's getting just as many minutes because Kristaps Porzingis continues to be limited to the low 30s mark. I will say, straight off All-Star break, you would think he's pretty rested up. So if there's one time where I'm going to be wrong on this, it's probably this game. So you're going to have to pick which side of the fence you're on there. Either he's coming off the All-Star break and they're going to push him a little bit more than they typically would, or it's Kristaps Porzingis and they continue to limit him and his minutes and they don't want to push him too much. You're going to have to pick which one of those you're on. Not to contradict myself, because I did say he has been limited and I might fade him. I tend to think, if you're asking me my personal opinion, that I'm going to be leaning with the straight off the All-Star break. He's had plenty of time to rest up. And I think that maybe we can take advantage of other people thinking that he might still be limited. So that's where I would be going as far as my final consensus there, just weighing out what you got to think about. DeMar DeRozan, DeJounte Murray, 8K and 7.5. Both going to play mid-30 minutes. Both have a very dominant role in this offense. They both get a good matchup. Both these teams actually have not been the best defensively this year, so I'm not really concerned about either side as far as the matchup's concerned. I do think that DeMar DeRozan and DeJounte Murray have perfectly fine matchups. This Dallas defense doesn't scare me too much. It's just a matter of pace. DeJounte Murray continues to produce at a very high rate, putting up 45, 38, 40, and 34 DraftKings points the last 4 times out. Now, keep in mind, that was before the All-Star break where we had guys like a Derek White, a Rudy Gay out, and the San Antonio side was very short-handed. So I'm going to have a lot less interest in this San Antonio side than I did before. All of these guys are expected to be back. They're going to be rotating these guys all through the rotation. If you know Greg Popovich's coaching style, things can get a little bit unpredictable. So I will say, I'm probably only going to be playing 1 or 2 of these guys in my lineups, and you're going to want to pick which one's going to have the big game because all these guys are going to be back in the rotation. And then on the Dallas side, as far as getting down to anyone down here, there's a bunch of guys you can play that can get hot from behind the arc. You can play Tim Hardaway Jr., you can play Josh Richardson. Both these guys are in the rotation. Are they top plays for me? Not really. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. at 4.8 is a very respectable price tag. He could definitely blow away that one for you at the right, time where he gets hot. Jalen Brunson at 5.7, same rule applies to him. Both those guys would probably be my top options as far as guys I'm looking to in the mid-range because they can both shoot the ball and they both come off the bench and get a lot of usage at times. When we're getting rid of guys like a Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, letting them get rest, those guys can get a bump up in usage. So that is my overall breakdown of this 2-game slate. Before I let you guys go, I got to give you my lock of the night. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be Dillon Brooks at this 5.4 price tag. Mentioned him earlier in the video, and I absolutely love this price tag and matchup. Taking on this Washington squad who's been absolutely dreadful defensively all year long. They do not intimidate me whatsoever. Dillon Brooks putting up a 0.92 DK point per minute clip right now, and as mentioned, has been struggling for most of the year, so I'd expect that production to go up even more. Can absolutely choke him from behind the arc on any given night, and I'm just waiting on him to have that big night because overall hasn't been shooting the ball well. Fresh off the break, gets the matchup, gets the price tag, gets the high-paced game. Love Dillon Brooks at 5.4, and he is my lock of the night. So there you have it, guys. Dylan Brooks. Get him in your lineups. And that is all for me in this one. If you did enjoy the content, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, I would greatly appreciate that. And then if you are getting very serious about NBA DFS, do check out my NBA DFS package, link below in the description, as well as all other KJK DFS links. I got merch down there. I got a bunch of good stuff going on, so check it out. Wish you all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.